What's going on, Aquarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be love, Aquarius. Whether you're in love, looking for love, this one's for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems are feeling great, just good vibrations all around here, Aquarius. Now with this spread, I'm going to be pulling 9 cards, and I'll be doing clarifications as need be. And of course, a good old surprise card at the end, because you know I spoil you all so much. And in case y'all were curious, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot deck. And I have a link for this deck and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So keep that in mind. So and hopefully you'll shuffle better than I can. But let's get into your reading here, Aquarius, which is going to be your first card is going to be What They Are Like. It's my personal favorite. I love this first card here. So Higher Self. What is it that, what's this person like that's coming into Aquarius's world here? Let's say, now, keep in mind too, Aquarius, this isn't a gender-specific reading here. We're working with the energy. So, yeah, let's see what's coming in for Aquarius at this time. Love it! 9 of Cups. I was just like, I was almost like at a loss for words, because this person here is the happiest. You know, the 9 of Cups is a card of fulfillment. It's a card of just like joy, bliss, happiness. So I feel like this is someone who's just like, is just bringing really good positive energy. You know, someone who's just like, just sees all who's definitely, the cup is, honestly, the cup might be all the way full in their scenario here, but they're definitely the type that sees the cup as half full. You know, yeah, I'm getting really optimistic energy. This is nice, Aquarius. And, you know, depending on, where we're at, this could be what because who doesn't want happiness, Aquarius? But, I feel like this is definitely, I don't even know what to say to that. I was like, I'm really at such a loss here. You know what? Let's get to the second card here, because we need to see where this is going. Absolutely. Yeah, let's keep this thing going, Aquarius, because it's like happy, optimistic. I was like, we don't need to clarify that. That's let's get into this journey here. Let's see where the second card is going to be, how you'll meet. So, Higher Self. How will Aquarius meet this person? Because I'll tell you what, this person's got me feeling happy. I already pretty much approve. But let's see where this thing is going, Aquarius. Oh, baller. Excuse me. You got the Emperor here. Now I'm just all geeked up. Because, I feel like with the Emperor, I feel like how you two are going to meet, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, because with the Emperor is the type of just like, rising to the occasion for all of this thing. So I feel like, the common theme, I feel like has been, and I feel like, really for you and maybe with this person, Aquarius, it's going to be you two will meet when you're ready to rise up to the occasion here, because that's where the Emperor energy, what the Emperor, energy is about here. This is about really when you're, because it's one thing to be just sort of like passively looking for love. Maybe we're checking like the dating apps. Maybe we're going on like a date or two here. But if we're just like kind of like, if we're just putting in like half-ass energy, Aquarius, then that's what you're going to get back, But it's going to be one of those things when we're really looking for love here and we're trying to pull this person here that's really I'm thinking they're getting ready to raise your vibration here, Aquarius. I feel like it's going to be time. You're going to have to make a move, really start like going in this thing like you mean it. You know what I mean? Imagine that you're already in love. Maybe go start doing some things that you love. If you want to attract love in your realm here, you got to embody that energy, and it's You know, and I was actually just talking with a buddy about this not too long ago, about like how to being in that energy when you're trying to manifest, you know, whether it be love, business, you know, self, or whatever that's looking like for you. You know, really being in that energy. And, you know, also too, taking a note from this person here, you know, if we're in a negative mind state here when we're thinking about anything, but especially in love, if we're like, well, man, nothing ever seems to go right, you know, I just meet all these misses, or, you know, maybe all these just like, what's the word I'm looking for here, you know, just sort of like everyone you've been hitting up has been just sort of meh, you know, you know, like I just like, if we're in that negative headspace here, then that's going to keep us there, you know. But if we switch this thing up here, you know, and we're like, okay, yeah, this, you know, this time I'm going to find the one. I'm going to, you know, we're going to be, I imagine us being together for this long, you know, they'll have X qualities, you know, I'm going to bring this to the table. Hopefully they'll bring this thing, you know, like building on that stuff, imagining this relationship here, and then just sort of watch how these things kind of fall into place, Aquarius. You know, it's going to be, and again, I get that it's when you're trying to manifest this stuff here and you're not, you know, you're not getting that consistency. I can get where that's like very frustrating here. But the Emperor's tenacious. The Emperor is going to power through here. And keep in mind too, you don't have to keep this, I'm not saying you have to be aggressive with this thing all the time here. The Emperor energy is just temporary energy. It's meant to call on there when you need it, and then let this energy rest up a little bit, you know. Can you imagine, because this is Aries card here, and just being on that, having that like rush of spring energy, you know, that like sort of like, but all the time and cranked up all the time, that's a lot, you know, like you may be like, yeah, that might sound cool in the short term, but when you get into that long term thing, the Emperor energy can be exhausting, and then that's where at some point we got to hit up the Empress. So hopefully that makes sense. I know that was quite a bit of a long one there, but let's go ahead and it's again, you know what, let's I'm not gonna focus on that anymore. Let's get to your third card here, which is going to be your first impression of them, you know, because so far this is nice, Aquarius. I'm digging. Granted, it's early, but I have high hopes. But let's see what your third card's looking like. So higher self, what's the first impression of this person looking like for Aquarius? Let's see what are some first thoughts here. Interesting. You got big energy here. I tell you, you and who else brought it like this? Pisces, I want to say. But with the Hermit popping up here, you know, maybe this person, despite all this positivity here, you know, maybe they might be a little quiet. You know, they may come across as a little reserved, you know, maybe kind of keeping to yourself. Because I feel like, you know, just because a person, you know, may be optimistic and happy and all of that thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're gregarious. You know, they may not be like a social butterfly or anything like that. But I feel like this person, you know, could possibly be someone, you know, might be kind of like a wallflower. You know, you might see them, you know, let's say like, for example, if we meet them at like a social gathering, a bar, a party, you know, get together, whatever that's looking like, you know, they may be the one that's kind of like standing off, maybe holding their drink, kind of ruminating on whatever positive thing they're ruminating on here. But, you know, I feel like they may give you those kind of vibes. You know, maybe someone who's, it maybe kind of give you like a very introspective vibe wells too. You know, someone who's very wise. You know, the Hermit energy is, you know, kind of journeying within, and, you know, finding that that divine inspiration. You know, that light in there. So let's get a little bit more on this Hermit here. Yeah, I feel like there might be a little bit more in that Hermit. Higher self, can we clarify the Hermit, please? Yeah, let's get a little bit more on that for Aquarius. Let's see what's going on with that energy, Aquarius. Okay. You got the King of Wands in reverse here. Yeah, and I feel like, yeah, this is kind of where I was getting at here, because the King of Wands, he's the type that, again, another figure with kind of that big energy here, but this is someone that's like kind of like is very calculated with how they utilize their energy here. So I feel like maybe this is someone maybe in the past that they were the type that maybe was just like all 9 of Cups all day. They maybe wore their heart on their sleeve. All this stuff here. Maybe they kind of, with depending on how their journey is looking, maybe they got, maybe some life lessons have kind of maybe dampened this 9 of Cups energy a little bit. Not to say that it's gone, but maybe it's just more reserved. So that's where I'm kind of getting this energy here. I feel like it's very happy, but yeah, very kind of more sort of like stoic type of energy that I'm getting across here. I feel like that's where our first impression is going to probably be with this person. But let's go ahead and move on to your 4th card here, which is going to be how they will ultimately affect you. So, hiya self. How will this person ultimately affect Aquarius at this time? Let's see. We're getting to know this person. Let's see how this is going to affect you. Interesting. Look at this. Kings all over the place. You got the King of Swords in reverse here, Aquarius. And I feel like how this is going to affect you, it may kind of get you maybe a little confused, because the King of Swords is a card of clarity, and it could also be too, because the King of Swords, he's of the kings. He's probably the most logical of the kings here. This is, He's the type that's not that he disregards his feelings, but the feelings are an afterthought. We're approaching at this very very logical at first, very practical with how he approaches things. So I feel like this person may possibly kind of maybe get you to where we're not being so channeling in this air energy here, because Aquarius, and you're in a judgment-free zone here, safe space. But sometimes with air signs, and my moon's in Gemini, so I get it. I really get that disconnect because like my sun's in Cancer, so it's like emotions. You've got the air nature, my problem, but I feel like with air signs, sometimes we can be too, and wherever that falls, and, especially if that falls in your big 3 there, sun, moon, rising, it can be maybe more kind of analytical, kind of, maybe we're ones to like ignore not necessarily ignore our feelings, but maybe not even know how to process them or not even have an understanding of this here. So I feel like with this popping up here, I feel like maybe this person is going to help you kind of channel more into your feelings here, because that's what the Cups have to deal with. The Cups deal with emotional matters. And maybe this person, as they're kind of as you're getting to know them, I feel like that King of Wands energy is going to come out there, and you'll get to really see this 9 of Cups in action here. I really think that this is going to, it's going to flip you on your head in a good way, Aquarius. I feel like this could potentially get you in a place where we are kind of feeling more, and that's going to service you in the long run there, because if we can get to this place where we can have not only like our analytical mind sharpened, but then we got a better grip on how we process our emotions as well. When they come up, we're not so confused when emotions pop up. I feel like that's just a win-win, Aquarius. I feel like this could be some good stuff here. So I hope that makes sense. Let's move on to your 5th card here, which is going to be what kind of relationship this will be. So look at you. This person's kind of caught you off guard here. Hopefully you've brought this person out of their hermit stage. Let's see how this relationship will be. Let's see what's going on here. Nice. You got the 5 of Swords here in reverse here. And I like that, because I feel like with the 5 of Swords, this can be like a card of competition, and it could also be a card too of where we're kind of like keeping people at a distance, where we're maybe if like, for example, like with this, when I was talking about maybe if some of us don't, maybe if we're too analytical and we don't tap into our feelings, maybe when we get to this place here with this person, we maybe start feeling more and start kind of understanding our feelings a little bit better here. I feel like you're going to start welcoming that energy. I feel like it's going to be at a place where we're not, when we have to discuss emotions and all of that, you're not just cutting this person out or, like putting up a wall. You're not like King of Swords in the sense of just like, no, these are the facts here. We're not talking about this thing. Because Aquarius, I'm all about being logical and being practical, but sometimes when it comes to emotions, I feel like, you know, you it's hard for me to it's kind of hard for me to explain, just because, again, like, it was being a Cancer, you know, kind of being in dealing with emotions. I feel like that when emotions come up, it's good to not get lost in them per se, but you have to give them space. You know what I mean? They have to be acknowledged. And then when you've brought them up into the surface, it's not staying in it. It's analyzing why is it that I feel this way? What is it? You know, sometimes we have to, let's say, for example, if we have like an argument or something, you know, where, you know, feelings come up. It's like talking about those feelings. It's like, hey, this made me feel this way. And then you say, this made me feel this way. And then it's like, why? Let's break down, then let's get into why did it make you feel this way, so that we can prevent this from happening again. So I feel like that's what I'm getting with this 5. I know that's a whole lot to get out of that, huh? But that's what I'm getting with this thing. You know, I feel like this could potentially be something where, you know, for those of you who may who find themselves having trouble, you know, tapping into their emotions, let's say, I feel like this is going to could potentially be that relationship, even if this thing doesn't work out or not. You know, I feel like there's some good lessons that's coming from this thing. And that, you know what, I just remembered that for those of you who are in a relationship, let's backtrack a little bit. Because hopefully, you know, depending on how this thing's going, you know, you've been with this person a little while, and hopefully all that stuff, I don't think I have to backtrack too much. You know, hopefully that's something that's been, you know, we've been that's how this journey has been going so far. I hope it's been going smooth. But if it hasn't been, you know, if we've run into this place where we're reaching that dissonance between emotions and logic here, sit with that, Aquarius, you know, figure that stuff out, work this thing out together here. Because that's how you grow. That's how we elevate together. You know, that's how we ascend. So now we've gone through this whole thing here. I'm sitting here talking about all the possible obstacles here, but the next card is going to be an obstacle. So let's see if I've missed one. So higher self, what are some obstacles that Aquarius might face at this time? Let's see, other than what I've pretty much said. Let's see what's going on here, Aquarius. Okay, you got the 10 of Pentacles here. And so I feel like an obstacle that could possibly come up here is just like, how do we picture our legacy? How do we picture our family here? Because that's what the 10 of Pentacles is about. You know, it's about, you know, how do we envision ourselves growing together? You know, do we want kids? Do we want to invest in the house? Are we doing you know, what are we doing? And I feel like the obstacle is, again, is sitting down and kind of figuring that out. What are we doing? And I feel like this obstacle, this isn't going to be something that's going to be like it's just, again, it's going to be something I feel like you're going to learn as you grow together. You know, I feel like this isn't going to be like, it's going to be something that's constantly on your mind, obviously, but I don't feel like it's going to be like a nagging thing in this situation if we don't let it become that. You know, this could, because you know, anything can happen. If we're sticking in this place where we're, you know, again, if we're being more logical, if we're ignoring emotions and all this stuff, you know, it can get to where this 10 of Pentacles energy is kind of rocky here. So, you know, I feel like that's just something to think in mind, you know. You know, if we're starting something new, you know, that might be a lot, talking about, you know, trying to get like your 10-year plan, you know, right off the bat there. But, you know, as you're growing together, talk about these things. And if we've been in something for a while, and then, you know, if we've noticed maybe things have kind of stalled, or, you know, maybe it's kind of, you know, something's just not quite feeling right, you know, or, you know, maybe we feel like we've gotten off our course here, just discuss that, Aquarius. You know, make that space and allow that space here too, you know, because sometimes I do as well air signs, and this is not me coming at you. You know, I operate a lot from my Gemini moon here, so it's like, you know, that's like, you know, I get it when it comes to the air sign stuff here. You know, sometimes, let's say if you were dealing with someone who's more emotional, air signs can be kind of sharp with how they're delivering stuff here. You know, maybe Aquarius, when I think about Aquarius, I feel like of the 3 air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, I feel like is the is the big thinker of the three. You know, you see 10 of Pentacles is on your brain. You know, you're the type that is thinking about this big picture here, and sometimes we can become so hyper focused on that maybe, again, you know, we don't, you know, when feelings kind of get involved, where we can be maybe a little cold because it's affecting the big picture here. And, you know, just kind of take that as it resonates. But I just feel like, you know, with all that word salad to say, I just feel like just making sure that when we're discussing this thing, allow the person the space to talk about this stuff too. You know, allow the feelings to kind of come into here and really have like a heart to heart here, Aquarius. So I'll leave that there. Let's get to your your 7th card here, which is going to be possible outcomes here. So higher self, what can be the outcome for this situation here? Let's see, what's one possible outcome this situation can go here? Nice. You got the Page of Wands here. And I like that. You know, I feel like this, you know, if we work with this thing, you know, if we find our groove, you know, with working with each other here, I feel like good stuff can happen here. You know, I feel like this 10 of Pentacles can absolutely happen, because the Page of Wands is like a card of inspiration, is a card of like that drive, just really kind of celebratory energy. You know, like it's very, it's like keeping that, just keeping that momentum going. You know, I feel like with the 10 of Pentacles and being true to yourself in that Page of Wands. Oh, excuse me, did I say Pentacles? I meant Wands, with the Page of Wands. And I feel like, you know, if we're willing to put our energy into this thing and to make this work, the outcome will be, you'll be twirling this baton, and imagine how she's twirling this baton as your relationship here. Because look, she's happy with this thing. She's happy with where the work has come from this thing, you know, because this too, when I think about the Page of Wands, she's the type that's like, when she's excited about something and she's working on this thing, she's gonna put in this work stuff here, you know, like, she's gonna King of Wands. she's working to get to her King of Wands here. So that's where I feel like this outcome here is gonna work out, Aquarius. You know, if we put the energy in, then it's like duh. But if we put the energy in, then this thing, I feel like, can go along swimmingly here. You know, it's just as I feel like it's just as long as we're staying on that same type of vibratory level, things are gonna be Gucci, Aquarius. Let's get to your 8th card here, which is gonna be how they will ultimately affect you here. So higher self, how will this person ultimately affect Aquarius? Let's see how this is looking here. Okay. You got the 4 of Pentacles here. And that's interesting. You know, I feel like, you know, maybe this person will get you in a place of maybe with kind of like how you, because the 4 of Pentacles can be a card of like savings. It could also be a kind of like a greedy card as well, but I'm not really getting greedy vibes from this thing. You know, I feel like this is like maybe going to be like, as far as like how, maybe how we invest our energy, or maybe with how let's get a little bit more on that, Aquarius. That's an interesting one there. Higher self, can we clarify the 4 of Pentacles, please? Let's get a little bit more on that, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on there. Okay. You got the 9 of Wands in reverse here. And so I feel like with this thing, which is very interesting, but I feel like it's going to be, how this will ultimately affect you is going to be, I feel like it's going to be where you're going to learn how to kind of pick and choose your battles, you know, about where we're pouring our energy to in this thing. You know, like, let's say, for example, if, let's say like an argument comes up, let's say if it's like over something like someone doesn't like rinse the dishes, for example, you know, and this is like a thing, you know, this has been like a thing for like a minute, you know, I feel like it's going to be one of those things where you pick and choose your battles, you know, like how this will ultimately affect you here. Because I feel like this person is going to get you in this place where we're where we're not thinking so logically, but that we're aware of our feelings, and then maybe how we're channeling all of that energy. I feel like this person is ultimately potentially make you more mindful with how you go about tackling things, Aquarius. Maybe so that we don't come in so. Just for example, maybe with like an argument or something, maybe we don't come in so hot, if it's not like a big deal, it's like, pick the sword that you want to fall on here. Do we want to bite someone's head off for not rinsing the dishes, or do we want to save this energy for when we need to have like a real discussion, when we need to talk about like 10 of Pentacles, where we're going next on our journey here? And and again, I feel like, or not again, but I also feel like too, because the wands have to deal with like their fire energy here, and I feel like if we're the types that maybe have like maybe even could have like a short temper or something along those lines, just kind of like keeping or just being mindful with when we're not in control of our emotions here, or just like how our energy is being utilized here, that's where I'm going to leave that there. I know that that's only going to resonate for a few, but that's what I'm getting with this combo here, Aquarius. So let's get to your last card here, which is going to be what you will learn in all of this thing. So, hiya self. What are some lessons that Aquarius can get from this relationship here? Let's see where this is going. Oh, interesting. You got one of your cards here, Aquarius. This is the Fool here, and I say that because in like one of my other decks, this is represented by like Uranus. So, but this is air energy as well, Aquarius. So this still applies. But with the Fool popping up in reverse here, I feel like it's going to be a kind of like what I was talking about with this Nine of Wands, Four of Pentacles energy here. I feel like it's what we're going to learn maybe is to not be so quick to possibly like dismiss feelings, to jump into that, to have that quick air reaction, where we're just like, well, what do you mean feelings? What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Because that's where I'm getting a lot of this stuff here. Other than this person here, there are no emotions in this thing, Aquarius. And that's not me saying that you don't have emotions, duh. But I feel like it's more so just about how we're channeling this thing. I think like we're being too analytical in our relationship here. You got a lot of swords, wands, and pentacles. So it's like we're thinking, we're acting, and we're money. Just on a base level here. I know that's not where you're operating from, but I feel like with this, maybe the lesson will be that we won't learn to operate or be so quick to maybe dismiss feelings in this thing here, Aquarius. But let's get a little bit more on this Fool here before we wrap up. Higher self, can we clarify the Fool, please? Yeah, let's just get a little bit more on that, Aquarius, because this is taking an interesting turn here. So let's see what's going on with that. Okay, you got the Four of Cups here, and so yeah, let's go ahead and let's transition back over. So yeah, with this Four of Cups energy here, I feel like it's going to be one of those things. Maybe we've been. I feel like we've been kind of ignoring our feelings. The Four of Cups normally is like a card of like the universe trying to present you with, your cups have run dry. We're kind of like in this like stalemate here, and the universe is trying to present you more stuff here, to try to present like gratitude, be grateful for what you have here, but we're like ignoring the signals here. But I feel like with this, because you see how she's like ignoring this cup here, she's like, I feel like these are your emotions here that you're kind of ignoring, Aquarius, and that's the vibe that I'm getting from this thing, from this whole reading here. It's that like, we're just we treat our emotions kind of like meh when we have to deal with some more stuff. We're kind of just like, and I feel like maybe we're just going to get into this place of maybe where we're feeling more, where we're just thinking a little bit less. So I think I'm going to leave that there, because I feel like I'm feeling too much, or at least I'm trying to force this thing here. So hopefully, because no one can force you to feel Aquarius. So, or really force you to do anything. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there. So I hope that makes sense, Aquarius. But if it did and you found the nuggets of wisdom in there, give this a good old thumbs up. Share this thing if you know someone who might be going through something like this. I know it's kind of tricky, but share this with them. Let's raise that vibration. What else? Subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. I'm getting to where I'm like all over Facebook. I'm making some tweaks and some things, so stay tuned for that. What else? Oh, if you have any cancer in your placement, or maybe you're dealing with the cancer, because I tell you what, because it was weird even like at the beginning, when I was talking about my sun sign being in Cancer and all of that, maybe you're dealing with, maybe like even just like a water sign per se, maybe because water signs are more kind of in tune with our emotions, I feel, than the other elements, but all I have to say, check out the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. All that housekeeping in the description box below. Let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. Interesting. You got the Five of Pentacles here, Aquarius. And so I feel like with the Five of Pentacles coming up here, with all this talks of like emotions and feelings and all of those stuff here, I can see where that can be. If that doesn't make sense, or you're trying to feel like maybe where that disconnect is within you, that can be kind of frustrating, and we can get to this place of where we're just like, well, F it, maybe I'm just not meant to, what, feelings are overrated, I'm operating this way, blah blah blah, there's no hope in this thing. But Aquarius, I feel like with you being as thoughtful as you are, realize that if we tell ourselves that we're not emotional, that we don't know how to tap into these things, that we only know how to operate from this stuff here, then that's what you're casting on yourself. Words become things, thoughts become things. That's where, if you keep yourself in that cage, that's where you're going to be, and that's. I'm sure I mentioned this is a judgment-free zone here. I'm going to be with you along this journey, whatever path you choose to take here. But I feel like, give yourself some credit. You are more than just your thoughts and all these things here. You can feel this stuff out too. You're not just like a robot. You know how to, maybe it's just something that, because it's not like I'm asking you to just like cry on demand, Aquarius, but I do feel like it's just more so just getting in touch with that side of yourself, to just allow yourself to feel more, and maybe too, that'll get you to a place where you it'll make you just more compassionate as well, which who doesn't want, could use a little more compassion in their life. So I'll leave that there, Aquarius. I really do hope that makes sense. So stay safe out there, and you keep raising that vibration, and I will catch you on the next one later.